I think one reason you don't want to mess around with pricing is because it's another variable, right? And you want to control. When you're doing stuff, and as a startup, as a SaaS, you're always doing stuff, right? Whether it's releasing a new feature or trying new ads, or you're building new landing pages. In order to, it gets very complex, right? In order to really see the results of what you're doing, what you're changing, you need to control for everything else. You need to keep all those things stable. Now, if your pricing page is stable, that's something you're just keeping stable, right? So, with update, or you keep your pricing stable, let's say. So you make changes on your pricing page, change the copy, but you keep the pricing the same and conversion goes up or down, and you can say that's probably based on, the copy. But if you're changing the price and you're changing the copy and changing the landing page, it's difficult to really judge the success of what you're doing, whatever that may be, when you're changing loads of things at once. So that's a difficulty. You want to be very strategic. You want to be very disciplined when you're testing and trying to keep everything the same and only changing very few bits. That's always caused a reluctance for us in the past for changing pricing so much, because you're changing so much else. We change the pricing. Do you know if that actually hindered or helped conversion rate? What correlation, causation, all that jazz.
And sometimes when it comes to something like, churn or retention, you don't find that out if it made a difference until many, many months down the line. I do think that pricing is something that's really important to tinker with, but you're absolutely correct. I think you got to be careful with it and not change too many things at once. Are there any other experiments that you've run that have had an impact on conversions?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest one we've ever had, again, was another luck in a way, right? It wasn't planned. It just kind of fell into our lap almost. So when we started Hike, so we launched our first website 2018, right? Up until 2022, summer of 2022. The main call to action on the website was book a demo. You could sign up directly, but the main call to action was book a demo. And that always was the way, right? We just went with that. We always wanted to remove it. Every time we removed book a demo, we tried an alternate, like a recording of a demo or something fancy. Conversion rate just went down, right? So whenever we tried to replace demo with something else that was demo-like, conversion rate reduced. We just got to speak to customers. So we were running demos, and we had a pretty good conversion rate of demos. So we would do on average, 50, 60% of demos would convert. So we're that's fair enough. Then summer of 2022, middle of 2022, our customer success lead who ran the demos, she had to go on emergency leave for 2 weeks. It was very sudden. She was fine, but it was very sudden, and we were like, right, we've got no one to cover the demos. I don't want to cover demos, busy. Other guys, busy. We've just got to switch them off. And we were convinced that obviously conversions are going to drop now. But maybe, just maybe, if conversions don't drop that much, then maybe because we've gained all those hours of our customer success lead, we can use her resource elsewhere, and it would still be beneficial for us, right? So less sales, but we're using less time to generate those sales. So we're like, let's see, it'd be interesting. Convinced that sales are going to drop, and just a complete opposite happened. Sales, conversion rate just completely increased, probably doubled. And it was insane. We couldn't believe it. Just the amount of sales that we were getting through. And the conversion rate didn't just double. We were doubling marketing spend. We were coming every day and we were like, let's increase it by 10%. Conversion rate's still going up. Let's increase it by another 10%. Let's increase it. I was for a period of months. It was nuts. I mean, this was 2022, right? This was a very good year for SaaS, right? We know 21 and 22 were good. But still, this was fundamentally down because we'd removed a demo. Now people didn't have this extra layer before signing up to Hike. Now all they had to do was just sign up to Hike. And hey, it really grew our business that year. Really, really significantly grew our business. There were downsides. We had increased churn. Right, we had increased customer success needs because customers hadn't seen a lot of customers hadn't seen the platform. They didn't know what it was like, because with a demo, not only are they deciding that they like it, they're learning about the platform as well, right? They're bought into it. Whereas if you're just landing on a site and you don't have that engagement with someone, then they haven't got that experience. So churn did go, but as a net benefit, it was far greater for us. Our growth was significant. So that was a big find. And that again, we'd gone 4 years doing demos, and it was only due to that kind of that illness, that absence, that we just had to switch it off, and never run them since.
Wow,
never run them since. So yeah.
So had that's almost a blessing in disguise. Had that not happened, you might have continued running demos, and you wouldn't even know that you were potentially letting all this revenue slip through your hands. Yeah, well, that's interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you run any other page experiments that have led to a bump in conversions?
One of the things we took from that was we were like, there was a theory. We had a bit of a theory is going, the demo was a point of friction, right? They would be interested in signing up, but they'd see the demo and go, okay, I'll try and book a demo. And potentially the slot wasn't available, right? We only had one person running it. It was mainly UK hours. So perhaps they just didn't have a slot available. Therefore, they're like, I can't book a demo. The main thing's book a demo. I'm not going to sign up. Potentially they saw the demo and they thought, oh, it's usually enterprise level SaaS, but it's going to be expensive, even though we had pricing next to it, but people might miss that because it was the main call to action. So we were like, maybe it's a level of friction that's, putting people off when they would have just signed up anyway, but by us having the demo there, we were putting people off from just signing up. So we started to play with our idea. We reviewed our website and we went, what else is a potential friction? And we went to town on this. The two notable ones being, we used to have this tool, right? And we still do, because our agency customers use it to help them generate leads, where people would land on the website, a little pop-up would come up saying, do you want a free SEO audit? So we built this whole tool where you get a free SEO audit. You put in your URL, competitor's URL, spits out your score, their score, keywords you rank for, some of their backlinks, et cetera, et cetera. And then they would go into an drip email campaign, and we get a certain amount of those convert. And we'd always try to tweak and improve that drip email campaign, try and improve the tool. And we switched it off. And we were getting low. We'd get like 20 a day, right? 20 people doing that a day. So we just switched it up. Just didn't have it anymore. Someone lands on the website, can't book a demo, can't get an audit. If they like it, they just got to buy it, right? And again, it increased our conversion rate. Yeah. The number of those dropped. People obviously weren't doing them anymore. The conversion rate just increased. And it was like, gosh, there's another example of friction. The other notable example of this is where with our paid ads, we used to send everyone to the homepage or another internal page. We were like, just send people to the pricing page. Just send them straight to the pricing page. Right, let's just see what happens. And that outbeats any other landing page, even to this day.